You ever felt like something wasn't quite right? Like you're watching everything fall apart, but can't put your finger on why? Maybe it's that nagging feeling in the back of your mind when things seem too good to be true. Or maybe it's just suspicion eating away at you. Have you ever wondered what happens behind closed doors when no one is looking? Let me know what you think so far. Where are you watching this from today? New York? London? Sydney? Drop a comment below and tell me where you're tuning in from. And hey, if you like the start, don't forget to hit that like button. It means a lot. This story is exactly for people like you who love deep dives into human emotions and truth. You're amazing for being here. Let's dive deeper. It all started with a simple idea. A man named Wyatt Harper had built his empire from scratch. Gas stations scattered across towns and highways, each one humming with life. He didn't come from money. He came from grit. His father worked 2 jobs just to keep food on their table, and Wyatt swore he'd never live paycheck to paycheck again. Now, years later, he owned 23 gas stations under the name Harper Fuel. It was more than a business. It was his legacy. But lately, something didn't feel right. Numbers weren't adding up. Inventory reports were off, and whispers about missing cash had reached his ears. Wyatt wasn't one to panic. Instead, he decided to take matters into his own hands. No fancy investigators, no cameras hidden in corners. He wanted to see the truth himself. So he dressed down, jeans tore at the knees, an old hoodie pulled over his head, and sneakers scuffed enough to look believable. For 3 days, he prepared for this undercover mission. He even practiced speaking differently, lowering his voice, slouching his shoulders. The plan was simple. Visit one of his busiest gas stations as a customer-turned-employee and find out what was going on. The station he chose was located in a small town called Pine Ridge. It wasn't flashy or big, but it brought in steady traffic because of its location near a highway exit. Wyatt walked in during the late afternoon shift, pretending to be desperate for work. "Hey," he said, scratching the back of his neck nervously. "I heard y'all might need some extra help around here." Behind the counter stood a young woman named Riley Dawson. She couldn't have been older than 25, with freckles dotting her cheeks and hair tied back in a messy bun. Her smile was warm, almost disarming. "Yeah, we could use another pair of hands," she said after glancing at the clock. "But you'll have to talk to the manager first." Wyatt nodded, trying not to let relief show on his face. "Sure thing. Just point me in the right direction." Riley led him to the office at the back, where a middle-aged man named Carl sat hunched over paperwork. Carl barely looked up when they entered. "What is it now, Riley?" he asked, irritation lacing his tone. "This guy says he's looking for work," Riley replied quickly before stepping aside. Carl studied Wyatt for a moment, then shrugged. "Fine. We're short-staffed anyway. You start now." With that, Wyatt became Evan for the next few days, a nobody trying to make ends meet. At first glance, everything seemed normal. Customers came and went, fuel pumps clicked rhythmically, and Riley greeted everyone with genuine kindness. But Wyatt noticed little things. Carl disappearing into the storage room for long stretches. Riley counting cash twice before locking it in the register. And once, late at night, he saw Carl slip something into his pocket when he thought no one was looking. Still, Wyatt told himself not to jump to conclusions. People made mistakes, right? Maybe there was a reasonable explanation. Then came the day that changed everything. It was raining hard outside, the kind of storm that made roads slick and drivers impatient. Wyatt, or rather, Evan, was restocking shelves while Riley handled the register. Carl had gone home early, claiming a headache. As the hours dragged on, fewer customers stopped by. Finally, only one car remained parked under the awning, a beat-up sedan with rusted fenders. A man stepped out, had pulled low over his face. Wyatt watched as Riley rang him up for gas. But instead of leaving, the man lingered. Riley glanced nervously toward the back room, then leaned closer to the stranger. They exchanged a few quiet words before she handed him a wad of bills from the register. Wyatt's stomach dropped. Was this theft? Right under his nose? He waited until the man left before confronting Riley. "What was that about?" he asked, keeping his voice calm despite the rage bubbling inside him. Riley froze, her eyes wide with panic. I don't know what you're talking about. Don't lie to me, Wyatt snapped, surprising himself with how sharp his tone sounded. I saw you give him money. That's stealing. My money? Tears welled up in Riley's eyes, and for a moment, Wyatt felt a pang of guilt, but he pushed it aside. This was his livelihood they were talking about. Why would you do that? He demanded. I didn't have a choice. Riley cried, her voice breaking. It's my brother. He owes someone a lot of money. They threatened to hurt him if I didn't pay them off. I swear, I never meant to steal. I just needed time to figure things out. Wyatt stared at her, stunned. All this time, he'd assumed greed or carelessness was behind the missing funds. But here was a girl caught between fear and desperation, doing whatever it took to protect someone she loved. His anger softened, replaced by sadness. How much does he owe? He asked quietly. $5,000, Riley whispered, staring at the floor. I've been paying them bit by bit, but it's not enough. They keep demanding more. Wyatt sighed heavily, running a hand through his hair. What should he do? Turn her in? Fire her? Or try to fix this mess somehow? Before he could decide, the door burst open and Carl stormed in, soaking wet and furious. What's going on here? He barked, glaring at both of them. Who gave permission to snoop around? That's when Wyatt realized Carl must have known about Riley's situation all along and done nothing to stop it. In fact, Wyatt began piecing together clues. Carl's frequent trips to the storage room, the unexplained discrepancies in inventory, the way Riley always seemed anxious whenever he was around. Suddenly, the bigger picture came into focus. Carl wasn't innocent. He was exploiting Riley's vulnerability for his own gain. Without hesitation, Wyatt revealed his true identity. Enough, he said firmly, standing tall. I'm Wyatt Harper, owner of this company, and I know exactly what's been happening here. Carl paled, stammering excuses, but Wyatt cut him off. You're fired, effective immediately. Turning to Riley, he added gently, and you, I want to help you, but you need to promise me you'll stop letting fear control you. There are better ways to handle problems like this. Over the next few weeks, Wyatt worked closely with Riley to clear her brother's debt. He also implemented stricter oversight measures across all his stations to prevent similar situations in the future. Though it cost him time and resources, he knew it was worth it. Sometimes, doing the right thing meant taking risks, even when it hurt. So, what do you think? Should Wyatt have forgiven Riley completely, or was firing Carl the best decision? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to share where you're watching this from. It helps us connect globally. And if you enjoyed the story, please hit that like button. It keeps us motivated to create more content for you. You're truly amazing for supporting stories like these. Here's the lesson I want you to take away today. Fear can make us do things we regret, but facing the truth is always the first step toward healing. Remember, no matter how dark things may seem, there's always a way forward. Keep believing in yourself and don't give up. Thank you for staying till the end. Until next time,